On the wild and colorful planet of Zorvath, deep in a thick jungle full of strange creatures and tall glowing trees, lived an alien girl named Lyra. She belonged to the Zorvathians, a proud and curious species known for their graceful movements and strong bonds with nature. Lyra was young and adventurous. She loved to explore places others avoided and learn about the secrets hidden in the dense forest. One bright morning, Lyra set out alone with a small pack on her back. The sun's rays filtered through the tall blue leaves, creating a magical glow all around. Birds with bright feathers sang songs no human could understand. The air smelled fresh, but carried a strange sweetness she hadn't noticed before. Lyra walked carefully, stepping over glowing vines and strange flowers. She was searching for the rare lumina fruit, said to grow only near the old caves at the heart of the jungle. Its fruit was valuable and could heal many wounds. Her tribe needed it badly because a sickness had spread among the elder Zorvat, HINS. As Lyra moved deeper, she heard a soft buzzing sound. At first, she thought it was the usual insect life that filled the jungle. But this buzzing was different, louder and sharper. Suddenly a small, shining alien bee flew right in front of her face. It was not like any bee she had seen before. Its wings shimmered with many colors, and its body glowed faintly in the dim light. Before Lyra could react, the bee flew close and stung her on the back of her leg, right near her booty. The pain was sharp, but quick. She jumped and tried to brush the bee away, but it disappeared into the jungle shadows. Lyra looked down at her leg and saw a small red mark. She touched it gently, feeling a warm sting. "It's nothing," she whispered to herself, trying to stay calm. But soon she noticed something strange. Her booty began to feel tight and itchy. She pulled her clothes aside and saw the skin there was starting to swell and turn pink. At first she thought it was just a normal sting reaction. She had been stung before, but this felt different. Swelling was growing fast and felt heavy. She felt a strange heat spreading from the sting area. Panic crept into her heart. What if this is not a normal bee? She thought. Lyra hurried back toward her village, her steps slow because of the growing pain. She covered her swelling booty with a cloth, afraid of what others might think if they saw it. The jungle around her suddenly seemed less friendly. When Lyra reached her village, she was tired and worried. The village healer, an old wise Zorvathian named Elder Hera, looked closely at her swollen leg and shook her head. "This is no ordinary sting," she said quietly. "The venom is strong and strange. We have never seen this before." The healer called other doctors and scientists from the village. They examined Lyra carefully, using glowing tools and scanning devices. Lyra sat still, feeling embarrassed and scared. The swelling on her booty was growing bigger. The skin was tight and hot, and it made her uncomfortable to sit or move. Outside, news spread quickly. Some villagers whispered and stared at Lyra when she passed by. Others looked afraid. Is she cursed? Some asked, is this the work of dark magic? The more the swelling grew, the more worried everyone became. Meanwhile, far from Zorvath, a human named Jack was flying his small exploration ship. Jack was part of a team sent by Earth to study new planets. They wanted to learn about alien life and find places where humans might live in the future. Jack's ship landed on Zorvath by chance, near the village where Lyra lived. He was curious about the jungle and decided to explore. As he walked, he noticed strange footprints and fresh damage on some plants. Suddenly he saw Lyra struggling to walk with a cloth wrapped around her leg. She looked tired and in pain. Jack felt sympathy. He stepped forward and said, "Hey, do you need help?" Lyra froze. She had never seen a human before. Humans were only stories told by her tribe, mysterious and unknown. She looked at Jack with wide eyes and nodded slowly. Jack gently helped her sit down and examined the swollen area carefully. "This looks bad," he said, concerned. "Do you know what stung you?" Lyra told him about the glowing alien bee. Jack took out a small scanner from his backpack and studied the sting area. His device beeped and showed unusual readings. "This venom is unlike anything I've seen," Jack said. "It's changing your body in ways we don't understand yet." Lyra's eyes filled with tears. She felt helpless, but also a small hope. Maybe this human could help her. Jack contacted his ship to get advice from the Earth scientists. Told them to take samples and keep Lyra safe until they could find a cure. But the jungle was dangerous, and time was running out. As night fell, strange sounds echoed in the jungle. Predators and mysterious creatures stirred in the darkness. The glowing bees were said to be protectors of the jungle's secrets, and some said they were linked to an ancient power. Jack and Lyra sat near a small fire, watching the shadows. The swelling was still growing, and Lyra felt weak. But she was not alone anymore. Suddenly a loud roar came from the trees. Both of them turned to see glowing eyes staring at them. Danger was near. Jack stood up, ready to protect Lyra. She held her swollen booty, feeling both pain and power rising inside her. The sting had changed everything now. The question was, would this change be a curse or a gift? The sun rose slowly over the strange planet of Zorvath, but for Lyra, the morning brought no relief. The swelling on her booty had grown much bigger overnight. It was no longer just a small bump. It looked almost like a glowing balloon, round and heavy, and it made her feel strange in her own body. Every step was painful, and the tight skin itched like fire. Lyra sat quietly by the village water pool, trying not to draw attention. But the other Zorvathians noticed. They whispered behind her back and stared with wide eyes. Some shook their heads, fear and confusion showing on their faces. Her best friend Mira came close and touched her arm gently. "Lyra, you need help? The healer says this venom is strange, maybe worse than anyone thought." Lyra nodded. She was scared too. The swelling was not only painful, but also making her feel different inside. Sometimes her muscles twitched without reason. Other times, she felt a sudden rush of energy that made her heart beat fast. Her tribe's healer, Elder Hera, was worried. She had gathered her team and was working day and night to find a way to stop the swelling. "This is no simple bee sting," she said to Jack, the human who had stayed by Lyra's side. "The venom is ancient, filled with unknown power. May change her in ways we cannot control." Jack frowned. "On Earth, we know many poisons can have strange effects. But this, this feels like it's alive. It's changing her body at a cellular level." Lyra listened, but understood little of their science words. All she knew was that her booty was growing, and so was her fear. One day, while Lyra was alone, near the edge of the jungle, she felt the swelling shift suddenly. It felt heavier and warmer, like something inside was moving. She gasped and almost lost her balance. A sudden voice broke her thoughts. "You don't have to hide from this." Lyra, she turned and saw Jack standing nearby, his eyes full of concern. "I'm not hiding," she said quickly, pulling her cloth tighter. "It's just ... embarrassing. What if the others laugh? Worse, what if they think I am cursed?" Jack shook his head. "On Earth, we say every change has meaning. Sometimes it's a problem, sometimes it's a gift. But you must trust me. I want to help." Lyra wanted to believe him. She really did. That night, Jack showed her the scans he had made. The device showed glowing patterns moving inside her booty. The venom was spreading in strange ways. It was not just swelling. It was changing her cells, making them grow and shift. "This is like nothing I've seen before," Jack said quietly. "It's almost like the venom is activating something inside you. ... Something ancient." Lyra's eyes widened. Ancient. Like magic. Jack smiled softly. "Maybe, or like a power left behind by an old civilization, something they wanted to hide or protect." Suddenly, the village alarm sounded a deep, booming call that echoed through the trees. Jack grabbed his weapon and looked toward the sound. "What's that?" Elder Hera appeared, running. "Hunters from a rival tribe. They know about the venom. They want to capture Lyra." Lyra's heart jumped. Hunters were dangerous. They would not care about her pain. They only wanted the power inside her. The villagers hurried to prepare defenses. Jack helped Lyra to stand, supporting her swollen leg. "We have to move," Jack said firmly. "Can you walk?" Lyra nodded but limped. I will try. Together, they ran toward the safe cave on the mountain. It's the only place the hunters could not reach easily. The journey was hard. The swelling made every step worse, but Lyra pushed herself. Jack stayed close, watching for danger as they climbed. Lyra felt something new. The swelling was not just pain, it was also power. Her muscles grew stronger and her senses sharpened. She could hear the hunters' footsteps far below, and the sharp smell of their weapons. When they reached the cave, the village warriors waited. They quickly closed the entrance with large stones. Inside the dark cave, Lyra rested against the cool wall. Her booty still throbbed, but did not grow any larger. Jack looked at her with hope. You're stronger than I thought. Lyra smiled weakly. Maybe this sting was not just bad. Maybe it was meant to make me stronger. Days passed and the hunters did not give up. They sent spies in small groups to search, but the cave was hidden well. During this time, Jackameas and the village healers worked together. Jack shared earth medicines and knowledge, and the healers gave Lyra herbs and potions from their jungle. One night as Lyra slept, she dreamed of the alien bees. She saw thousands of them flying in perfect patterns, glowing like stars. Then, one bee flew closer and touched her swollen booty with a tiny leg. Suddenly, she felt a burst of energy and heard a soft voice whisper, "You carry the future." Lyra woke up with a start. The swelling was still there, but felt different, less painful, almost alive. She told Jack about the dream. He listened carefully. Dreams can tell us things, Lyra. Maybe you are connected to these bees in a way no one understands. The next morning, a young village scientist named Caro arrived. He had studied the ancient ruins near the jungle and had strange devices to scan life. Caro looked at Lyra's swelling and gasped. This venom is not poison. It's a biological implant, a living technology. Everyone looked confused. Implant? Asked Elder Herodot. Karat nodded. Yes, these alien bees carry tiny machines inside their venom. They infect the body and grow new parts, new powers. Lyra touched her swollen booty carefully. Powers? What kind of powers? Caro smiled. Strength, speed, healing, ... but also danger. If uncontrolled, the implant can harm the host. Jack looked at Lyra seriously. This means you are part of something bigger. You could be the key to an ancient war or secret. Lyra felt both scared and proud. Her swollen booty was not just a problem, it was a mystery, a power, and maybe her destiny. Suddenly the cave walls shook. The hunters had found them. The villagers grabbed weapons. Lyra stood his laser rifle. Lyra stood up slowly. The swelling made her hips heavy, but she felt ready. As the hunters entered the cave, Lyra's swollen booty glowed softly with light. She felt energy flowing from it, like a shield. The hunters attacked, but Lyra moved faster than anyone expected. Her muscles, strengthened by the venom, gave her speed and power. She dodged and fought with surprising skill. Jack helped too, protecting her from behind, in the middle of the fight. Lyra realized something amazing. Her swollen booty was not a weakness. It was her strength. With a final burst of power, she pushed the hunters out of the cave and closed the stone door. The village cheered. Lyra smiled, feeling new hope. She was not just a girl with a painful sting anymore. She was changing, and the swelling mystery was only the beginning. The jungle of Zorvath had always been a place of mystery, danger, and ancient secrets. But now, it had become the center of a new story, one that involved Lyra, the alien girl with the strange swelling, and Jack, the human who had arrived from another world. After the fierce battle in the cave, Lyra's swollen booty no longer felt like just a curse. It was a source of power, but it was still painful, and the mystery of the alien bee venom remained unsolved. The swelling changed her daily life in many ways. Sitting, walking, even sleeping became difficult. Yet, she grew stronger, faster, and more alert. Her tribe both feared and admired her new form. Jack knew they had little time. The venom inside Lyra was a living thing, spreading and changing her body in ways no one understood. If left unchecked, it could either kill her or turn her into something else, something not fully Zorvathian. One quiet morning, Jack set up his small medical tent near the village's edge. He carefully unpacked his Earth technology, a portable lab filled with scanners, chemicals, and medicines far beyond anything the Zorvathians had seen. Lyra watched nervously as Jack examined her swollen leg again. "This time I want to try something new," he said, gently placing a scanning device on her booty. The machine hummed softly, showing glowing images on a small screen. Jack's brow furrowed as he studied the patterns. The Venom ... Not poison. It's a complex biological system. It reacts to your body chemistry, and it's making your cells grow differently. Lyra's eyes widened. So ... It's alive inside me. Jack nodded. "Yes, but I think I can help control it." He began mixing medicines and adjusting machines. The other villagers watched with hope and curiosity. Elder Hera approached Jack quietly. "Do you think your human medicine can fix what the Venom did?" Jack smiled, though he was unsure. "On Earth, we have many cures for strange infections. Maybe this one is no different. But we need to act carefully." Over the next days, Jack worked hard, combining Earth medicine with the jungle herbs that Elder Hera gave him. Lyra sat patiently. Even though the swelling itched and burned, she trusted Jack more each day. One evening, Jack prepared a special serum. It was glowing faintly blue in the vial. "This might help," Jack explained. "It will calm the Venom's growth and ease the swelling, but it could cause side effects. Are you ready?" Lyra nodded, brave and determined. "I want to get better." Jack carefully injected the serum into her swollen booty. At first, nothing happened. Lyra felt a cold rush spread inside her, then warmth suddenly. A sharp pain exploded through her body. She gasped and closed her eyes. Jack stayed calm. "Hold on, Lyra. This is normal. The medicine is working." For several minutes, Lyra lay still. Then the pain slowly faded, replaced by a soothing feeling. She opened her eyes and looked down. The swelling had stopped growing. The skin was less tight, felt softer. "I feel ... better," Lyra whispered. Jack smiled. "But this is just the start." Over the next days, the serum slowly worked. The swelling stopped getting bigger, and Lyra's pain eased. She could walk more easily, sit without pain, and even sleep better. But something new happened. Lyra began to notice small changes in her body. Her strength increased even more. She could jump higher, run faster, and her senses sharpened. The Venom was still inside her, but it now worked with the medicine to help her body adapt. One afternoon, Jack took Lyra to a hidden clearing in the jungle. The sun was bright, and the air smelled fresh. "Try this," Jack said, handing her a small training tool from his ship. Lyra held it tightly and ran across the clearing. She moved with new confidence and power. Jack watched closely, amazed. "This Venom and the medicine together have unlocked something inside you," Jack said. "You are becoming stronger than any Zorvathian I've seen." Lyra smiled, feeling proud but cautious. "But what if this power is dangerous? What if I lose myself?" Jack shook his head. "That's why I'm here, to help you control it." Their bond grew stronger as days passed. Jack was no longer just a visitor. He was her protector, her friend, and maybe something more. But danger was not gone. The rival hunters were still searching for Lyra. News spread that she was changing, gaining powers. Some saw her as a threat. Others wanted to capture her to use her power for their own gain. One night, while Lyra and Jack rested near the village, an urgent alarm sounded. The hunters had found the village again. Jack grabbed his rifle and Lyra stood tall. The swelling in her booty no longer limited her. It was part of her strength. The hunters charged with weapons and strange machines. But Lyra was ready. She moved quickly, her muscles strong and agile. With Jack beside her, they fought back fiercely. Lyra used her new powers in ways no one expected. Her swollen booty gave her balance and force. When she jumped, she landed with the power of a hammer. She pushed enemies away with surprising strength. Jack covered her back, firing at the attackers. Together, they pushed the hunters back into the jungle. After the fight, the villagers cheered for Lyra and Jack. They had saved their home, but the battle left a question hanging in the air. What was the true origin of the alien bees? And why had they chosen Lyra? Determined to find answers, Jack and Lyra prepared to explore deeper into the jungle. Toward the ancient ruins where the bees were first seen, the jungle was full of secrets. And the venom was just the beginning of a story far bigger than anyone imagined. As the stars shone above Zorvath, Lyra touched her swollen booty gently. Feeling the mix of pain and power, she was no longer the same girl who had been stung. She was becoming something new, and the human's unexpected cure was only the start of her transformation. The days after the battle were different for Lyra. The swelling on her booty had stopped growing, but the changes inside her were far from over. She could feel a new energy coursing through her veins like a secret power waking up. The village was both amazed and scared.
I'll whisper.
Some whispered that Lyra was becoming a goddess. Others feared she might lose control and hurt them all. Lyra herself did not know what was happening. One morning, she woke up feeling strange. Her body felt lighter and stronger, but her reflection in the mirror showed subtle differences. Her eyes glowed faintly, and her skin shimmered as if touched by starlight. She touched her swollen booty and noticed it pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat. Jack, who was always by her side, noticed her changes too. "Look different, Lyra," he said gently. "More powerful." Lyra smiled, but looked worried. "I don't know what I'm becoming." Jack put a hand on her shoulder. "Whatever it is, you're still you, and we'll face it together." But that very day, strange things began to happen. Lyra's senses sharpened beyond normal. She could hear the faintest sounds of leaves rustling miles away. She could smell the sweet nectar of flowers hidden deep in the jungle. And her strength grew so much that she lifted heavy logs with ease. One evening, as she practiced in the clearing, she accidentally caused a small earthquake. The ground shook, and nearby plants bent and cracked under her power. Lyra gasped. "I didn't want to do this." Jack ran over quickly. "It's your power. You just need to learn to control it." Lyra nodded, but fear clung to her heart. Meanwhile, news of Lyra's transformation spread beyond the village. The rival hunters were furious that she had escaped again and was becoming more powerful. The hunters' leader, cruel and cunning, alien named Vark, sent his strongest warriors to capture her. He wanted her venom-enhanced powers for himself. Vark's army moved swiftly through the jungle, using advanced technology to track Lyra's energy. Back in the village, Elder Hera called a meeting. Lyra's transformation is dangerous, but also vital. She may be the key to protecting us all from an ancient threat. Lyra listened carefully. What threat? The elder showed an old, faded map of the jungle. There are ruins deep inside where the alien bees first appeared. A long time ago, a great war was fought here. The venom was created as a weapon, one that could destroy or save worlds. Jack looked at the map with interest. If we find those ruins, maybe we can find a way to control or remove the venom completely. Lyra felt a mix of hope and fear. She had to go. She had to understand what was happening to her. The next morning, Lyra and Jack prepared to journey into the heart of the jungle. The villagers gave them supplies and blessings as they walked through thick trees and glowing plants. Lyra felt the power inside her grow stronger with each step. Suddenly, the air changed. It grew colder and heavier. Strange whispers seemed to float on the wind. Lyra stopped. "Do you hear that?" Jack nodded. "We're close to something old and powerful." They entered a clearing where huge stone pillars rose from the ground. Covered in glowing alien symbols, the ruins were ancient, older than anyone could remember. Lyra stepped forward and touched one of the pillars. Her swollen booty pulsed and glowed. The symbols on the stone lit up, and a deep voice echoed in her mind. "Welcome, chosen one." "You carry the legacy of the ancient power," Lyra gasped. "Who are you?" The voice answered. "We are the guardians of the hive." The alien bees were created to protect life, but the venom can also destroy. You must choose your path. Jack looked amazed. The venom is part of a bigger plan. Lyra felt a strange warmth spread through her body. Her swelling felt alive and connected to the ruins. Suddenly, the ground trembled. From the shadows, Vark and his hunters appeared, weapons raised. "Hand her over," Vark shouted. "Her power will be mine."
Ow.
Lyra stepped in front of Jack. The glowing in her booty grew brighter.
Ow.
She was no longer afraid. With a mighty roar, she unleashed a wave of energy that pushed the hunters back. Trees bent and rocks cracked under her force. Vark snarled and charged. But Lyra caught him with a powerful kick, sending him flying. The battle was fierce. But Lyra's new powers gave her the edge. When the hunters finally fled, Elder Hera's voice echoed in Lyra's mind. "You are no longer just a girl stung by a bee. You are the guardian of the hive's legacy. Use your power wisely." Lyra looked at Jack and smiled. "This swelling, this transformation, it's my destiny." Jack nodded. "And I'll be here with you every step." As they left the ruins, Lyra's swollen booty still glowed softly, symbol of her new strength and the beginning of a new chapter for her and her people. The jungle of Zorvath was no longer just a place of mystery. It had become a battlefield. Lyra, the girl with the swollen booty and strange powers, had grown stronger since her transformation. But with power came danger. Vark, the ruthless leader of the rival hunters, had not given up. His anger at being defeated burned hotter every day. He believed that capturing Lyra was the key to ruling the entire jungle land, maybe even the galaxy. Vark gathered his most skilled warriors, each trained to hunt the most dangerous creatures on Zorvath. They were armed with advanced weapons and devices designed to track Lyra's glowing energy. "We will find her," Vark promised, "no matter the cost." Back in the village, Lyra and Jack prepared for what they both knew was coming, a final, deadly hunt. The villagers helped them build traps and fortify the village's defenses. The elder healers gave Lyra special potions to control her swelling and power. But Lyra knew the hunters would not stop until they caught her. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the glowing trees, Lyra and Jack sat near the campfire. "I can feel them coming," Lyra said softly. "Their energy's close." Jack nodded. "They're tracking you with machines that can find even the faintest trace." Lyra's swollen booty pulsed gently. "But this power, it protects me." Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the jungle. Branches snapped under heavy footsteps. Vark's warriors appeared, moving silently but swiftly through the trees. The hunt had begun. Lyra stood tall, feeling the power inside her rise like a storm. Jack readied his weapon, his eyes scanning the darkness. The warriors spread out, using their tracking devices to close in. Lyra felt the ground tremble as they moved closer. She whispered to Jack, "I have to face them. If I run, they will only chase harder." Jack hesitated but knew she was right. "I'm with you." Hunters surrounded the clearing where Lyra and Jack stood. Vark stepped forward, a cruel smile on his face. "You cannot hide, Lyra. Your power belongs to me." Lyra's swollen booty glowed brighter, casting a soft light on the dark jungle floor. With a fierce cry, she charged at the hunters. Her strength was unlike anything they expected. She knocked one warrior aside with a single punch and jumped high. Kicking another with powerful force, Jack fired at the hunters, keeping them at bay. But the hunters were skilled and numerous. They used nets made of glowing vines that could trap even the strongest. One net flew through the air and wrapped around Lyra's legs, pulling her down. The swelling in her booty made it hard to break free. Jack rushed to help, cutting the net with his laser blade. Together they fought fiercely. Lyra's power surged. She felt the venom inside her responding. Her swollen booty pulsed with energy. Glowing like a beacon, she reached out and released a wave of light that knocked several hunters backward. The warriors regrouped, bringing out strange devices that fired beams of energy. Lyra dodged quickly, but one beam grazed her side, making her stumble. Vark laughed cruelly. "You are strong, but you cannot win." Jack helped Lyra to her feet. "We don't have to win alone." Suddenly, the jungle itself seemed to respond. The glowing trees bent toward Lyra, their branches twisting to block the hunter's path. Strange creatures appeared from the shadows, giant insects and glowing beasts rushing to protect her. The hunters were caught off guard. Vark growled and ordered a retreat. "We will find you again," he warned. But Lyra and Jack were safe, for now. Breathing heavily, Lyra touched her swollen booty. The pain was still there, but so was the strength. Jack smiled. "You have the jungle on your side?" Lyra nodded. "And that power inside. Me is not just venom. It is life." The villagers celebrated their victory, but Lyra knew the hunters would not give up. Her transformation was far from over, and the alien hunt was only the beginning of a war that could change Zorvath forever. After the fierce hunt, Lyra and Jack knew they needed answers. The venom inside her, the alien bees, and the strange power, all connected to something much older than anyone had imagined. The village elder, Hera, called them to the council. "Time has come to learn the truth," she said, her voice steady but heavy with years of knowledge. She led them to the oldest part of the jungle, a place few dared to go. There, hidden beneath thick vines and glowing moss, lay an ancient structure covered with symbols that shimmered faintly in the dim light. "This is the hive sanctuary," Hera explained. "The birthplace of the alien bees and the source of the venom. Long ago, the ancient civilization of Zorvath created these bees as guardians. They carried the power of life and death." Jack studied the carvings on the walls. "So the venom inside Lyra is part of this ancient plan?" Hera nodded. "Yes. The venom was designed to protect the planet from invaders. It would grant strength and healing, but also bind the host to the planet's life force." Lyra looked down at her swollen booty, glowing softly in the twilight. "That means this power inside me is tied to Zorvath itself." "Exactly," Hera said. "You are the living link to the hive, but such power comes with risks. If uncontrolled, it could consume you and the planet." Jack placed a reassuring hand on Lyra's shoulder. "We need to find a way to control it." Together, they entered the sanctuary. Inside, the air hummed with energy, and strange plants grew in glowing patterns. At the center, they found a giant crystal shaped like a beehive. It pulsed with light, connected to the planet's heartbeat. As Lyra approached, the crystal reacted. Her swollen booty glowed brighter, and images filled her mind, visions of ancient Zorvathians, the creation of the bees, and a warning. The visions showed how the venom could evolve its host, turning them into protectors or destroyers. Suddenly, the crystal's light flashed sharply. The voice of the ancient guardian spoke inside Lyra's mind. "Balance is the key. Embrace the hive's gift or fall to its curse." Lyra gasped. "I want to protect my home. But how do I find balance?" Hera stepped forward. "You must learn from the hive. Become one with its energy without losing yourself." Jack looked at the ancient devices around the sanctuary. "Maybe we can use technology and the hive's power together. We can build a device to help regulate the venom." Worked for days combining Zorvathian knowledge with Jack's technology. Lyra trained with the energies flowing through her, learning to control the swelling and the power it gave her. But the hunters were not far. Behind Vark's voice echoed in the jungle once more. "The hive's secret will be mine." The hunters attacked the sanctuary. Lyra and Jack prepared for the fight of their lives. The battle was fierce, and with beams of light and power shaking the ancient walls. Lyra used her new control to protect herself and her friends. Her swollen booty, once a sign of weakness, was now a shield of glowing energy. With Jack's help, they fought the hunters back into the jungle. After the fight, Lyra stood by the hive crystal. She knew her journey was far from over. The secret of the alien bees was now hers to guard, and with it, the fate of Zorvath. The air was thick with tension as dawn broke over the jungle of Zorvath. After all, they had faced the sting, the swelling, the battles, and the secret. Lyra was ready. She was no longer the scared alien girl who had been stung by an alien bee. She had transformed into something greater, the guardian of the hive's legacy. her swollen booty. Once a source of pain and shame, now glowed softly, a symbol of her strength and connection to the planet itself. Every step she took felt purposeful, filled with power she was learning to control. Jack stood beside her, ever faithful and protective. Together, they prepared for the final challenge, the ultimate test to protect their home and the hives. Secret far away, the rival hunters gathered their forces one last time. Vark's hatred had only grown. "This time, I will claim her power," he declared, eyes blazing with fury. "She will fall, and the jungle will be mine." But the jungle had its own protector now. Lyra, guided by the ancient knowledge of the hive sanctuary, had mastered her powers. She could feel the Venom's energy flowing through her veins, not as a curse, but as a gift. Her swollen booty pulsed with life, giving her balance, strength, and a radiant shield. The hunter's army marched through the jungle, cutting down trees and leaving destruction in their path. Lyra and Jack met the first wave at the jungle's edge. The ground trembled under the charge of armored warriors, their weapons gleaming ominously. Lyra raised her hands, and the glowing energy surged outward. Bending trees and knocking enemies off their feet, the battle was fierce. Jack fought alongside her, using his weapons and tactics to protect the village and its new guardian. Lyra moved like the jungle itself, swift, powerful, and unstoppable. Her swollen booty gave her an unbreakable center of gravity, allowing her to leap and strike with unmatched force. At one point, Vark himself charged at her, his eyes full of rage. They clashed power against power. Vark wielded advanced technology, but Lyra's connection to the hive gave her an edge no machine could match. With a final glowing kick, Lyra sent Vark crashing into the jungle floor. Defeated but alive, the hunters fled, their spirit broken. The jungle fell silent again. Lyra turned to the villagers, her glowing form shining in the morning light. "I am the guardian now," she said, voice calm but strong. "This power is not just mine, it belongs to all of us, to protect our home and future." Jack smiled proudly. "You've become everything the hive intended," the villagers cheered, welcoming their new protector. The swelling that had once been a mystery was now a symbol of hope. Lyra's journey from a stung girl to the planet's guardian was complete, but she knew one thing for sure. Her story was just beginning.